Welcome to Women Don't Do That, where we empower you with inspiration, knowledge, and skills to redefine your boundaries and unleash your potential. I'm Stephanie Minton, founder and CEO of Beacon North Strategies and your guide. Small town girl turned CEO while navigating career, motherhood, ADHD, and chronic migraines. Our conversations range from interviews with visionary women to solo episodes filled with actionable insights. We are your hub for turning what ifs into let's go. Are you ready to redefine your possible? Let's get started. Welcome back to Women Don't Do That. I can't believe that I am coming to you in January 2026. Time truly is flying. And this episode today is a bit of a life update, how I'm reflecting on Christmas, what's next for 2026, and some advice for you for a January reset. And so I am excited to dive into things with you today. And if you are starting the year already tired or feeling behind, you certainly are not alone. I look back at my Christmas and it was restful. It was a break from work. However, if you're a longtime listener, you probably know that I have chronic migraines. And for at least a week and a half of the holiday, I had a migraine. So I can't say I really enjoyed it, but I did get a break from work. And there still were some positive moments and moments of joy, but it also was a challenging time too. And I would be lying if I said otherwise, but I really appreciated the break from work. And maybe that's a forced break from work. And I happened to see a TikTok video the other day talking about how migraine sometimes it's not the stopping of the work or stopping the thing that causes the migraine. Sometimes it's that you do it too rapidly. Maybe I'm not quite getting that right. But anyways, it was making me kind of reflect on how maybe that kind of stop in work and then, starting Christmas break and all of a sudden you're like, and now I'm relaxed. It doesn't really always work that great, but I hope many of you were happy and healthy and did get a break. And it's always hard with kids, right? If we're realistic, sometimes we come back from vacation and feel like we still need a vacation. So I'm coming back wishing I had had more time to actually get more work done for work. I did get some done, but also feeling ready for the new year. I did other things like cleaning my office and just being ready to hit the ground running, which always feels good. So even though I'm scrambling a bit, I'm excited about 2026 in so many ways, from serving my clients to just leaning into my business and some of the things that are coming for me. And so 2026 feels like a bit of a mix, I guess I would say. And one of the things that I do every year is that I write a word down. And I never did New Year's resolutions before. I think I felt like who has time for that? And just couldn't be bothered, and people don't keep them, so what's the point? But I had some friends who had started choosing a word for the year, and that felt simple and it did feel grounding, and it gave kind of a broad focus to something that I really wanted to intentionally work on or focus on. And this year, the word is brave. And if you listen to the reflection show for the podcast before Christmas, it actually was Miranda, the other co-founders, word for 2025. And as soon as she said out loud that hers was her word for 2025, I thought that has to be my word for 2026. And so that is my word for 2026. I have put it on a sign in my office. I have put it on my first ever vision board that I tried to create. And so I will be trying to remind myself of that. And brave feels intimidating, not necessarily inspiring all of the time. And so it's a word I choose with trepidation, maybe, of what that could mean. It can mean positive things, but it can also mean getting uncomfortable and doing scary things too. And I'm trying to, even though I'm scared, embrace that word and what it means. And so I also have written a blog about that in more detail about why I chose that word, how you can choose your own word. And so feel free to go and take a read of that. It's called I Don't Do Resolutions, I Do This, perfect for busy women. And that's what that blog is all about. And we will link to the blogs in the show notes, so you can always find them there. I also wrote another blog about the new year too, just about some of the work I did in 2025 to find myself more as my kids get busier with life. And that blog will be coming out as well. And you'll if you subscribe for the blog, then you'll never miss them. So then you'll make sure that you get to read all of these. And I wanted to do a series on social about me kind of finding myself again and finding things I liked and new hobbies since I won't be doing backflips on balance beams anymore in my 40s. But I really did do a lot of things and try a lot of things, and I'm really proud of that. Even in a year that had highs and it had some really low lows, I was really proud of some things and all the different things I tried and am now consistently doing are some of them. One of them, for example, would be boxing, which I also did again last night. So, check that out if you're needing some of that yourself. So, what's coming up for the podcast this year? We've already recorded some of those episodes. I'm excited that one of the episodes coming up is with Catherine McKenna. She is a former Canadian cabinet minister. Many Canadians will know who she is, maybe some international folks listening as well. She is also the founder and CEO of Climate and Nature Solutions. She also plays different roles with the UN, and she's really passionate about the environment. But she wrote a book about her life in politics. Catherine McKenna, Run Like a Girl. It's behind me. It's a great read. It's very digestible. It's kind of written like a scrapbook, and it's really about doing things your own way, leaning into your leadership your own way. And as somebody who works in Canadian politics and follows it very closely, I learned a lot about her, about leadership, about her life that I didn't know. And it's a constant reminder for me that we can have these visions of people and know a lot about people and sometimes even know people, but not know what's really behind the curtain or what motivates them. And it's very fascinating. And it also just reminds us that leaders are everyday people. We often look at people in big roles, and this is one of the reasons I love doing the podcast and think, I could never be like that, or my life is too chaotic, or I have this problem, or I'm dealing with this issue in my life, like a sick child or a sick parent, and I just can't take that on. And then we listen to some of these leaders who are dealing with those things and still leading. That doesn't mean that you have to be a leader, but I do think it's really refreshing to recognize that everybody's life is just not perfect and people are just doing it through the hard. We also have Shahad Ashley on. Asali. She is the founder and CEO of Blue Meets Blue, and she is doing a lot for hiring refugees. She also has people creating some of the textiles and things that she's selling in her company, Blue Meets Blue. So you'll learn all about that. She is a TED Exchange speaker. She's doing some really amazing work and she was really inspiring. And so I'm excited for you to hear her story and to learn some new things, quite frankly, as well from her and some of the misconceptions that we hear about immigrants and refugees. And so make sure you check that out as well. Of course, there is more to come. I know many of you love your books, so there definitely will be more authors. There's at least one or two others already that I have interviewed. And so get those book lists ready. And also, every year, Women Don't Do That releases the list of books from all of the episodes. So if you're a big time listener of the podcast, you will know at the end of every episode, we ask people for a book recommendation. And we take those books throughout the year and we put out a book list at the end of the year. And so if you want to learn like what are some of these change makers and these leaders reading, and what can I learn from them? What are they soaking in? Like, go and read some of these books. When you are making your book list for 2026, check some of them out. And so that book list is on the blog, and we've also been posting about it on our socials as well. So feel free to jump in on that as well. So for the new year, more, exciting episodes like this. One of the things I've been trying to do more is focus on what are some of the issues and challenges that you and I are facing that really make a difference in thriving in our lives. And one of the ones that I did before Christmas that's worth checking out. And again, you can find all the old episodes wherever you listen to podcasts. We also drop links in the show notes, is the episode that I did on habits. And I've heard from so many people that that was such a good episode for them. It was very practical. They could apply it to their lives. And so check out that episode, and we will make sure that we are doing more episodes on those types of topics as well. And if you ever have ideas, feel free to DM us on social. You can send us an email, and there's also an area on the podcast where you can suggest podcast guests as well. And so that's another way to be in touch, whether it's a topic or a guest that you really want to see, or it could even be for yourself. And speaking of vision boards, I would love to have Reese Witherspoon sometime on the podcast. I know that's a big ask, but if you don't dream big, you never get big. So that's one of my dreams for 2026 and possibly beyond. And so just to say that I'm excited for the year ahead. I'm also scared as I lead into that word brave. And one of the things that I've just been reminded of as I've walked through some of the challenges I faced over the last couple months is that you don't need to do everything. You need the next right step. And so when you feel overwhelmed, whether it's just living everyday life, parenting, survival, or maybe you're trying to step it up and grow your business or do some really big things and it feels overwhelming, all you need to do is that next right step that moves you towards where you're going. And so that's exciting, and it's challenging too, and it's okay. And I don't know, for me, when I think it's just that one next step that I have to figure out, it just calms everything down. So I hope that that helps you as well. I hope that you check out some of those blogs and those episodes that are coming up, and that you take that next right step, whatever it means for you. I want to close with a quote from Maya Angelou. And she was an American poet and civil rights activist, to really kind of close out these thoughts that I've been sharing today. And it is: courage is the most important of all of the virtues, because without courage, you cannot practice any other virtue consistently. So, courage, be brave, pick your word for the year, go check out the blog about how to do that, and figure out what is your next right step for the things that you want or need to do. So, looking forward to more of 2026 with you. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on social in your stories, or send it to a friend. It really helps us reach more women. And certainly my goal is to inspire as many women as possible, because women do that. Have a great week.
Thanks for joining us on Women Don't Do That. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating or review. Connect with us on Instagram at Women Don't Do That, and visit our website www.womendon'tdothat.com for more details. Join our Patreon to support our work. Find all of the links in the show notes. Remember, you have the power to transform your what ifs into let's go. Together, let's redefine your possible. Until next time. The opinions expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Women Don't Do That, Stephanie Mitton, or affiliated brands.